Good evening, everybody. It's me again. I'm back. It's Lorraine. I'm back again tonight for another live video as part of the skincare series. And tonight I am going to talk to you about active treatment serums. So this is the part of the series where we are talking about the serums that we apply to the skin that contain huge amounts of really active ingredients to really treat the problems that you have with your skin. So I like to kind of explain these in terms of thinking about these as the medication that you have, specially designed for your skin, basically. So we've got, there are lots of different types of serums that are designed for treating different types of skin complaints. And within the Illumia range, which is the focus of the skincare series that we're talking about, we're looking at Illumia products specifically on this occasion. And there are about 14-15 different serums that we can look at and go through, and depending on which ones would suit you. So let's talk about anti-aging. Okay, it's a really big thing. Lots of people are wanting to kind of address those that tired, dull look. There's lines, the wrinkles, that kind of thing. But actually, if we're not focusing at this time around injectable treatments, we can look at those another day. But in terms of what skincare products are actually good in helping you in an anti-aging capacity. So I know I've spoken about some of these before, but I'm going to go through a couple very quickly. One of my absolute favourites is the Illumia Everactive C&E Plus Peptide. So this is really, really amazing for antioxidant protection of the skin and boosting your skin's natural collagen production as well. So you may have seen the video that I did with this with an apple, which just demonstrates how much protection your skin is getting from free radicals in the atmosphere, in the environment, the pollution, smoking, sun damage, lots and lots of things that free radicals, they get into your skin, and what's actually happening is those free radicals are bouncing around in your skin looking for something to pair with. And whilst it's bouncing around looking for something to pair, it's causing damage to the structure within your skin. So what we want to do is stabilise that. And so by using a proper antioxidant protection, it's giving something to bind with. So it's slowing that whole process down of those free radicals that are pinging around. And it's also reducing the amount that can actually penetrate through the surface of your skin in the first place. So this serum contains 15% L-ascorbic acid, which is the most bioavailable form of vitamin C that is proven to have an active and therapeutic purpose within the skin. And it's important that is applied topically. We all know lots and lots of benefits of ingesting vitamin C, so we know that's fantastic, but for the skin specifically, it's really, really important to apply that to the skin topically. So this also, within this serum, also has a little peptide, which I spoke a little bit about the other day, matrixyl 6, which is a peptide designed for stimulating collagen production, to give us that nice healthy plumpness and the elasticity back to our skin, which is what we really want as we age. So that's why that one's great for anti-aging. And this one comes, I think, as I've explained previously, it comes in a separate bottle with the peptide solution in, and then it comes in a cap that you have to release the crystals of vitamin C into the solution and mix it together, which means it remains active and it remains because vitamin C can oxidize very quickly, so if it's been sitting on a shelf for months on end, it may be brown and a bit off, and then it won't be doing your skin the benefits that we want it to. So vitamin C should be clear in colour, no more than a very, very light straw colour, but ideally clear, just like that. And then, yeah, you would just apply that onto the skin and then rub it in. You can't even really see that, can you? But yeah, it would just rub it in, lovely. So that would always go on first after cleansing and exfoliating, because it's the thinnest product. So moving on, so there are a couple of other really, really lovely anti-aging type serums. So there is another vitamin C serum that we have, and it is more, it comes in one of these type bottles with the twist cap. So that's your vitamin rich smoother. So that is also anti-aging with vitamin C, but what it doesn't have is the matrixyl Sin-6 for the collagen production as well. So it's just a different variation really of vitamin C, depending on which you know, you kind of want to go with. Both really, really good products. Both got 15% L-ascorbic acid in, so that's great. Another one that I really like is this one here, which is the Illumiance AGE. So AGE stands for Advanced Glycation End Products. So this is a combination of vitamin E and vitamin C, and the amino acids, a rich complex. So yeah, so this one again, really, really lovely. And the feel of this on the skin, whenever I use it and I put it on, it feels like silk. It's so soft and smooth. It feels really, really silky on the skin. So yeah, I really like this one. And my other, probably, a huge favourite of mine is the Ultimate Boost Serum as well. And that has got matrixyl Sin-6 in, which is, as I've said before, a collagen peptide to strengthen the elasticity of the skin and for those lines and wrinkles. It's also got a low molecular weight hyaluronic acid in for plumping fine lines, really good for hydration within the skin, because it can hold huge amounts of water. And also vitamin B3 niacinamide, which is ceramized to strengthen the lipid barrier. So again, if you're one of those people that's got quite sensitive or broken skin on the surface, it's really, really good for repairing the skin barrier and kind of like rebuilding that. To the ceramides lock in the moisture so that you're not getting that transepidermal water loss. So those are some of the really lovely products that we have for anti-aging. Now, there are other types of skin conditions that we need to consider and that have their own sort of special products. One of those is things like acne and oily skin. So for acne, particularly if you've got active acne, then we've got an acne balancing serum. Okay, so this has got 2% encapsulated salicylic acid in. So it's specifically targeting those pores to get down deep down in there with that salicylic acid to really clear out the pores and cleanse that, you know, from your skin. And again, this one can be quite punchy. We have to think about if you've got acneic skin and you've got particularly quite a number of breakouts, there are lots of products that have got salicylic acid in. What we don't want to do is overdo that, so we need to select the right products for you that contain those things in there and find you a combination that would work best. If you're not necessarily acneic, so you haven't got huge amounts of breakouts, but you do have quite oily skin, a really lovely product for that is this one, which is Clear. So this is really lovely to really break through the oil and almost soak it up. It comes across as kind of a bit like a primer. So for when you're putting makeup and things like that on your skin, it's really good as kind of feels like a bit of a primer to go on there because it's taken away that excess oil. Sorry about that. Hi Gemma. Sorry, I've just had interruptions from my child. First, to be fair, it's their first one that has interrupted when I've been live, so I'm doing all right actually, I think. But apologies. Okay, so that was acne. Now, if you're looking, I did do a live video fairly recently around hyperpigmentation. And if that is something that is an issue for you, I mentioned back then about certain ingredients that are really, really good for lightening the skin tone and evening out that complexion. And some of those ingredients are like arbutin, kojic acid, white shiitake mushroom. Now those products, and there is also prescription only products as well that we could look into if it was a particularly significant case that you've got, especially in something like melasma. However, I'm not going to go into that too much detail today, but we have a combination of those skin lightening agents within the Illumia range. So we've got Even Tone and IntelliBright. And they've both got a combination of those lightening ingredients, which are tyrosinase inhibitors, which is what we want to do to suppress that pigment that's in the skin. So one of them is kind of suppressing that pigment and stopping it from making any more. And the other one is then designed to lift and lighten the existing pigment that's in the skin. So that's why those are so great in combination, to have the two of them. I would usually say use one in the morning, one at night, and then it's really keeping that pigmentation at bay. And then if you are a particularly sensitive, have a particularly sensitive skin, then there are also products. So as I've mentioned in the cleanser video, we've got, you know, for sensitive skins, we've got the Sensicalm cleanser, so that things don't feel irritated or sting or you know, have any of that, and we need to rebuild some of that broken skin surface, your lipid barrier, and restore some of that. And so we've got Calm R as a serum that would then help put that protection in place and really work with that. It's got a product and an ingredient called Hinacatil in, which is really, really lovely. It's an anti-irritant product, so that anything you're putting on your face is then no longer being irritated by that. And it's got sea-whip in as well, which is also another anti-irritant. So it's all in there to really kind of rebuild that structure to your skin, but without irritating it and making it sore any more than it already is, because it can be really quite uncomfortable. And then last but not least, I'm just going to very quickly, obviously I haven't gone through the full range, I've just gone through a few key things in different categories really. And another fantastic one that I do love, and I probably talked about too much, but is retinol. So retinol, again, really, really beneficial in anti-aging. It's also really beneficial in acne as well. And something to be aware of if you're introducing retinol into your regime is that you need to start it off slowly, so that you don't overdo it too much and your skin gets into a bit of a shock with it. Oh gosh, what's the other thing? It'll come to me. So explaining what retinol is basically, think of it like an exfoliator upside down. So it's an upside down exfoliator. So what it's doing is it's working from within your skin. It works at the bottom of your skin and then works its way out. So you've got your layers of your skin. So you've got your epidermis on the top, you've got your dermis in the middle, and then you've got your hypodermis. And retinol gets right down deep there at the bottom, stimulates new skin cell growth, which in turn then pushes all of your layers of skin up and outwards, so that we're getting rid of that the dead stuff on the surface of the epidermis. It's come back to me now about what I was going to say. Some people do find when they first start on retinol that it can trigger the odd breakout here and there, and that is completely normal. It's pretty much expected, because suddenly your skin is purging from the deep layers. It's purging all of that stuff out of your skin. So these things do then occur in terms of, you might get a little breakout in the beginning, but those things don't last. If we keep up with it, we're getting all of that stuff out of our skin in good time, so that we've got then a really nice base layer of skin to be working with, which is exactly what we want. Now, retinol can stay in the skin for about 72 hours, which is why I explain to people when starting this to introduce it slowly, 1 to 2 nights a week, building it by 1 night a week as you go along, so that we know that you're not going to have some sort of reaction, because you might put it on for the first couple of nights, think everything's fine, go for it that 3rd night, and by day 4 you really know about it, because you've overdone it too much, because all of that retinol, like I say, it has gone right down to the bottom, and over 72 hours it's working its way back up and out again. But the Illumia MD retinols are all microencapsulated, so the retinol is encapsulated into a, I believe it's like a bit like a ball, as it were, and the retinol's in the middle, and then what happens is overnight that slowly releases into the skin, so that you don't have a big shock of retinol straight into the skin as soon as you apply it. It's actually being drip fed slowly over about an 8-hour period overnight. But it's also got anti-aging properties in there as well. So it's got, again, that peptide, that matrixyl sin-6, collagen peptide. It's also got hyaluronic acid and niacinamide for that soothing, replenishing feeling as well. So that actually, even though retinol in itself can be quite a strong product, it's got soothing components in there as well, so that it's not harsh to your skin. So that is, again, a very quick rundown of active treatment serums, the medication for your skin. Has anybody got any questions? Please drop them in the comments if you do. And I apologise for the short interruption there with my child. But otherwise, I shall let you all go, and I will be back again for the next part of the skincare series. Lovely to see you.